Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 1 and we will be doing text 1 today. So, if you have a hardbound Bhagavad Gita, then we are on page number 32, which is text 1 of chapter 1. We'll do a recap of what we did in our previous session. We saw how to read Bhagavad Gita, and Prabhupada said we should read Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly with the help of a devotee and without motivated interpretations. We described these three terms in the sense that if we don't read scrutinizingly, we don't understand, and it is difficult for us to apply in our life. Like somebody is doing a PhD, then they have a guide and they do their thesis, their paper, everything under the guidance of their guide. Similarly, Prabhupada says read Bhagavad Gita with the help of a devotee. So, under the guidance of a devotee, read Bhagavad Gita and try not to have motivated interpretations, meaning I will learn management principles from Bhagavad Gita. That is a motivated interpretation, looking for management principles. We are reading Bhagavad Gita so we can receive from Krishna what Krishna wants to give us. How to understand Bhagavad Gita? We said understand Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita. Also, Krishna says, hear from me. So we are understanding Bhagavad Gita, hearing from Krishna. And we are assured that the teachings that we are reading are the teachings spoken by Krishna, because these teachings are coming to us from disciplic succession. So we are sure that they have not been modified or changed or interpreted motivatedly in the course of passing down from Krishna to us. What happens when one reads like that? One surpasses all Vedic wisdom and all Vedic literature. Agenda for today is overview of Bhagavad Gita. Although we started chapter 1 last week, we did not really cover the what exactly Bhagavad Gita is, how Bhagavad Gita is structured. So we will see that today. We will understand the lineage and different characters that are being spoken in the Bhagavad Gita before we move on. And we will understand the scene on the battlefield. We'll start with prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord, and the spiritual energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. I am now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Overview of Bhagavad Gita. First 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking about Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking about Bhakti Yoga. last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking about Jnana Yoga. So, Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters in total. There are two analogies given in this context. Analogy number one goes like this. It says, Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental sandwich. So first 6 chapters are like the bread on the top. Last 6 chapters are the bread on the bottom, and middle 6 chapters is the actual jam or the butter, which is like the core of the sandwich. And so Krishna kept it right in the middle. If we practice Karma Yoga, it will be dry. If we practice Jnana Yoga, it will be dry. The real satisfaction of the heart comes when we can practice Bhakti Yoga. So that's our goal. Analogy number two says, if I have something very valuable and very important, where will I keep it in my house? I won't put it in the front yard. I won't put it in the backyard of my house. I will put it right in the center of my house within a lock and a key so it's safe. Similarly, Krishna put Bhakti Yoga, which is the core of his teachings, right in the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. Next, we will move on to understanding the lineage. Bhagavad Gita was spoken at the battlefield where two parties are ready to fight a battle, and that's the place where Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. We will go through the lineage to understand who all are involved and why the battle is happening, so it's easier for us to follow the storyline and receive the teachings. Maharaj Shantanu was a king, and there were two brothers, namely Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Here in the blue, Dhritarashtra and Pandu, two brothers in the lineage of Maharaj Shantanu. Dhritarashtra was the eldest brother, and he was supposed to be the king. Unfortunately, Dhritarashtra was blind by birth, and so Pandu, his younger brother, was chosen to be the king. Pandu had 5 sons, and Dhritarashtra had 100 sons. The rightful heir of the throne after Pandu would be Pandu's eldest son, Yudhishthir. Since Pandu died untimely when all his sons were very young, the kingdom was handed over to Dhritarashtra as a caretaker, and as part of the duty, Dhritarashtra was supposed to give the kingdom to Yudhishthir Maharaj when Yudhishthir grew up. Dhritarashtra wanted his son Duryodhana, the eldest son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, to be the king. So Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana made a plot and usurped the kingdom. Duryodhana became the king. Now that's the point of battle. The Pandava brothers, 5 sons of Pandu, and the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra are on either sides, and they are ready to fight a battle. Since Yudhishthir Maharaj, who is the rightful heir of the throne, his kingdom was usurped by Dhritarashtra and his sons, headed by Duryodhana. Understanding the scene on the battlefield. Kurukshetra, this is another word we will read In the Bhagavad Gita, text number 1, Kurukshetra is the place where the battle took place. It's a very pious place. Lot of sacrifices were conducted in this place, and it was known for people having heart transformations when visiting this place. Like if we go to a temple or a church, we can feel our heart moving in a certain way. If we go to an office or a cinema theater, the feelings and the heart movements are different from what we experience in a church or a temple. Similarly, Kurukshetra was known to be a pious place, and many people's lives changed in a pious way when they visited this place. And the battle was taking place in Kurukshetra. There is introduction of another character called Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the minister of Dhritarashtra. So here in the picture on the far right, we see a person sitting on the throne in red clothes. He is Dhritarashtra. He is the blind king, the caretaker of the kingdom in the after Maharaj Pandu left the planet. And in yellow, sitting little low from Dhritarashtra is Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the minister of Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya also was a student of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is the person who composed all this great Vedic literature, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. He put all these in a written format. He was the very first person who put everything into a written format. And Sanjaya was his student. Sanjaya was very sincere and very faithful, very obedient student of Vyasadeva. So, Vyasadeva provided Sanjaya the divine vision by which he could sit in the palace and see what is happening in the battlefield. When there is a sincere student, we always see they receive special favors from the teacher. Like Arjuna received a very special favor from Krishna. Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, the master of all the universes, Krishna, he became a chariot driver of Arjuna. There is no need for Krishna to become the chariot driver of Arjuna, but Krishna, out of love and out of his own mercy, being very kind upon his student Arjuna, who was very sincere, bestowed that mercy to Arjuna. Similarly, Sanjaya was a very faithful and very sincere, obedient student of Vyasadeva. And so Vyasadeva gave him the divine vision to see what was happening on the battlefield while he was sitting in the palace. So here in the picture we see Sanjaya is narrating to Dhritarashtra what is happening on the battlefield. That's the storyline of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, it is a conversation between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is asking, what's happening in the battlefield? Sanjaya, please tell me. And Sanjaya is narrating what is happening on the battlefield. So the very first question Dhritarashtra asks in text number 1 is, O Sanjaya, please tell me what is happening on the battlefield. He's curious to know what is the impact of a pious place on the heart of his sons. He and his sons had usurped the kingdom of Pandu brothers, and Dhritarashtra was not wanting his sons to back out from the battle because of the influence of a place as pious as Kurukshetra. So he is very eagerly asking Sanjaya, Sanjaya, please tell me what is happening on the battlefield. So that's the scene and that's the storyline where Bhagavad Gita starts. That's what is in our text number 1. We'll summarize quickly. What we saw today is overview of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental sandwich. First 6 chapters are the first slice of the bread, Karma Yoga. Last 6 chapters are the bottom slice of the bread, Jnana Yoga. The middle jam and the butter is Bhakti Yoga. Understanding the lineage, we saw Maharaj Shantanu's lineage, 2 brothers, Dhritarashtra and Pandu. Pandu being blind could not be the king. Dhritarashtra being blind could not be the king. Pandu became the king. And later, Pandu's son Yudhishthir was supposed to be the king. The kingdom was usurped by Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhana. And that was the cause of the battle taking place. So the battle is now taking place between the sons of Dhritarashtra and the sons of Pandu. Understanding the scene on the battlefield. The scene is both the cousin brothers are standing in front of each other. That's happening at the battlefield in Kurukshetra, which is a very pious place. Back in the palace, Dhritarashtra wants to know what's happening in the battlefield, and so he is hearing from Sanjaya, who has the divine vision to see what's happening in the battlefield. Sanjaya is narrating the battle scene to Dhritarashtra. How did Sanjaya receive this divine vision? Sanjaya was a very obedient, faithful, and sincere student of his teacher Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva, being very kind and merciful upon his very sincere and obedient student, gifted him with the divine vision to see the battle scene happening while he was sitting right in the palace. Before we wind up, we would like to visit our application points. Application point number 1, chanting of the holy name. In order to understand Bhagavad Gita, we need mercy and divine vision from Krishna. And our application point number 1 is every day we take 10 minutes and we chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are calling to Krishna to please give us mercy so that we can understand his teachings that he has given in Bhagavad Gita. Application point number 2, we take 10 minutes every day and we read Bhagavad Gita. There is an online copy available at vedabase.com. So I would highly encourage and recommend all of us to apply these application points. This is the key to start understanding Bhagavad Gita. Please feel free to send in any questions via text. If you have, you can go to your Facebook, look for my name, Seema Kalwani, and you can text in any question that you have, and I will try to get back to you and answer you at my earliest possible convenience. I'm very grateful to all of you for all your support and watching and liking the videos. I hope you benefit from it by applying the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Hoping we all can practice application point number one and application point number two in our lives to understand the teachings of Bhagavad Gita properly. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Till we all meet next time. Take care.